Hi guys, we're looking at the VeChain Wyckoff analysis today, and we'll also include a new element, the daily chart Wyckoff analysis. So this is new for the 4 sessions that I'm going to run today. Let's start with VeChain. So here we're looking at the weekly chart, and we know that over the past few weeks basically VeChain came out of a test after the selling climax, and as of this moment we see a little bit of upward action. And looking at the previous accumulation cycles, you see after test it's normal that we've got a little bit of upward action. This one in 2024 wasn't having like a significant sign of strength. It's at a pretty low level compared to the automatic rally. However, in the 2023, that sign of strength was almost as high as the automatic rally. So remember, sometimes the signals may be subtle, but they are still there. So the key part here is these support points. Currently, it seems like VeChain has established a pretty flat bottom over here, meaning there seems to be quite a bit of support force, like quite a bit of demand that's pushing it above this white line, much like what happened in 2024. Here there was a bit that kind of sign, but then immediately there was a plummet, but it quickly recovered to a sign of strength. So it was like really a test by whoever that's got sufficient skills and basically they want to check out the weekends. So that's the big picture. So the volume currently is still low compared to the previous 2 weeks, even though the body of the candlestick is wider, broader. It means there are quite a bit of fluctuation. People may be uncertain, so let's quickly take a look at the daily chart as well. So the trend, this downward trend, has clearly been broken above. So VeChain, even if I extend it to cover all the previous wicks, candle wicks over the head and tails, basically you can see it has closed successfully over the past 2 days above the box. So if we're seeking for a rebound, that's a good sign. And let's quickly take a look at the Wyckoff as well. So remember, Wyckoff in the daily chart, things happen much quicker than the weekly. However, they can't go beyond what the weekly is governing them. So the weekly is going upwards. If there's a retracement within the daily, it won't go too deep. Vice versa, if the weekly is going through a massive downtrend, even if there's a bounce in the daily, it's going to be limited by the levels of the weekly. So whenever a cycle, a Wyckoff cycle sits on the daily chart within a bigger Wyckoff cycle on the weekly, don't get overexcited or pessimistic. Always refer back to the weekly. So here we go back to the daily, and then I've already plugged in the selling climax. We can start with the selling climax over here. So prior to that we had the preliminary support. Or you like to remember it easier, just remember PlayStation, yeah. And then this can be Sega, Capcom. Immediately following is automatic rally, and then obviously we've got a deeper test. You can call it a second test, or you can just call it a test. And then we've got sign of strength happening. Well, it's a series of candles, it's not just one. The key part is this bunch of candles all stayed above this orange support line. It's not uncommon to see a bit of retracement after the sign of strength. You can call it the last point of support or the backup period. So if you look at the textbook definition, we've got that period a lot of times after sign of strength, but it may not always happen. Usually there would be such a period, and quickly, of course, after that we see the boom, the buying climax. There we go. And then let's take this away. We've got an automatic reaction that comes down from the buying climax, and then a test, or you can call it second test again, just to test the demand. Immediately it drops back to where it was, and let's tag those as well. So we've got the same PlayStation period, preliminary support, and the selling climax, automatic rally, and a series of more tests. It's very crazy this time. Over the course of 14 days from end of June to where we are now, we're entering mid July, but early July was some pretty wild swing with very narrow closing, open and close, this period particular. So now it's coming up. So if we refer to the previous one, coming back from a series of tests, we are going to expect a sign of strength. Nobody knows where the sign of strength would end up with, and whether we'll see trace back from there. So a good reference point is again this orange line at around 2 cents 50. That was what happened back in 2024. Not 24, April 25, and also 24, it was October, August time. This level has quite some good references, so I would observe whether this upward trend that we're in is going to hit that line at 2 cents 50 or 2 cents 60. It may go as high as the same level as the AR, the automatic rally, at 2 cents 70. So the point is, whether you get in or not at this moment, always, my advice is, keep adjusting your stop loss, don't take it away, even if you see consecutive 3, 4, 5, 6 days of green candles. The stop loss is going to help you take your profit when it comes down. If there's a retracement from the sign of strength, like the height of the sign of strength, if it really comes back down, you have taken your profit at somewhere at this range, and then you may re-enter again. But remember, always, don't just get in by looking at the chart and the price levels. Check whether there are any negative news of the projects that's going to impact the long-term growth of it. Say if there's security issues, speed issues, a lot of other things, the development team, and like the adoption, any partnerships that's finishing or being cancelled, or new partnerships, everything that's going to impact the long-term sustainability of the project. Go through those news. There are many channels covering those, and even like a lot of outlets, Cointelegraph, whatever, CoinGlass that you can look at. Just look at various news sources. If the project is going still developing healthily, then you get a higher chance that you have you have found a good opportunity. So that's it for VeChain. Now I'll move